Hi, this is Gracie of Ellis Family Farms, and Tom and I are about to get suited up, and we're going to go take care of some beehives. He wants to put some supers on them. I'm only going to stick around with him while he's working on the ones here at the on the farm, and he's going to put hives on the ones that he has in other remote locations. But we're going to check him out here in just a moment.
This is Tom with Super Bee Honey Farms. We're getting ready to go put some supers on our hives here on this property and then a couple other out yards we've got. It's a little bit late. It's May 10th. Normally, if we just had the hives here all winter, we would have already had supers on probably around the middle of April or earlier. But since we sent everything to California for pollination, they come back late, and we did splits just barely a month ago, and so they're building back up. But we need to get supers on them because everything's blooming now, and they'll bring in nectar. And we're rotating a drawn comb for a new foundation every other frame, and that'll give them something to put into right away, and also give them something to work on as far as drawing wax. So the weather's been extremely warm, up in the 90s for a few days and well into the 80s for over a week now. So the bees, I think, are getting ready to go to work, and we just need to give them the boxes to be able to fill up.
Tom went back up to the farm for just a minute, or back up to the top of the hill for a minute, because he forgot to get something to put the pollen in, because he's got a pollen trap down here. But I'm going to show you what I've got, what we got going down here. May have to come back, or I may have to put my hood on here in a minute, or my veil, because I'm hearing things flying around. Wanting to show you, of course we got holes all over the place, but these are some blackberries that are blooming, and this is not very many that are blooming yet, well, at least not on this side of the hill, but that makes the best honey. And we usually have blackberries all over the place. I'll see if I can find some more here in a moment to show you, because last year we had blackberries all over this hillside. And of course we've got the clover that they usually like to work on. I think it's too late in the evening to see see the bees working on the clover now, because it is getting after 7 o'clock at night or something. I think it's getting closer to 8. But we do have some nice clover here, and a whole swath of it, and that's something else the bees like to work on. Okay, this is not quite as nice of well, it looks like we've missed a lot of the blooms on the blackberries for me to be filming it this year, because I'm seeing where a lot of the blossoms are falling off, and there's some berries coming in. Well, there's some more there's going to be some more blooming, but these are some that the blossoms have already fallen off and the berries are starting to come in. But these are all the wild blackberries, and they make little bitty berries, and we've got a cajillion of them on our hillside over here. So this is just by the pond, but we've got them all over this 40 acres, and that, like I said, that makes pretty darn good honey. Okay, this is the pan that Tom went back up to get so he can collect the pollen on it. And Kinzie and I are going to start trying to take some pollen, because we have some significant allergies. I think Kinzie's doing a little bit better, but mine are improving some too, so whatever it is we're allergic to has passed on. But we still want to do some pollen so that we can start feeling better, and then he's going to take the rest of it to the farmer's market to sell it. Alright, Tom was going to pull a pollen first on this one here, but while he's doing that, I'm going to ask him some questions. Remind me what these hives did go to Texas, didn't they? And didn't you bring them back?
Yeah, all 6, 7 of these went, yeah. Had one dead out. Yeah, they all went to Texas. And this was the strongest hive. It was a parent hive that was split on some of these others, and so it had a bigger population, so we're using it to collect pollen, because it's got more bees, hopefully bringing pollen in.
And here's, ooh, look at all that. He's got a pretty good pile in one corner of it too.
A lot of different colors. So they're working on a lot of different things right now.
And how many days of pollen is this, do you remember?
No. 3 or 4 days probably.
3 or 4 days? Okay.
Longer than we normally let it go, because we've been busy lately.
Yeah.
A lot of times you'll find a small hive beetle or two in it, so we put it in the freezer.
Yeah, you can see him crawling around on there. So he'll put these in the freezer like he was saying, so we can kill off the hive beetles, and then he'll come on through and sift it out, make sure it's good and clean before we take it. And I think don't you dry it some too?
The freezer does that.
Oh, the freezer does the drying? Okay, gotcha. Candy, did you go in the pond and you're all wet? Yeah? Have a good time? Yep.
Just going to give them all a little bit of smoke before we open them up. I think we'll check this one and make sure it doesn't need another super, because that super's been on a week or so.
Okay, it's been on a week or so. Now, why do you have tape on it? Was it not having trouble staying in place?
You got to cover up the entrance. They have them bring in pollen, so cover it up while you're collecting pollen. You take it off when you're not.
I see. Okay.
A lot of bees up in here working, but it looks like they still have a couple of frames, so I think we'll give them another week or so.
Okay, so he's saying the middle frames are getting worked on, but the outside frames are still kind of empty, so he's going to give them another week or so to see if they can fill them out before he see if they have another super to go into it, to go onto it, I mean. Alright, he went ahead and brought the supers down for the other 6 boxes, and hopefully he'll need all 6 of them.
This is a spacer tool that we use, a 9-frame spacer. It spaces the frames out evenly and allows the bees to draw a little more comb in between the frames. It's starting to look pretty populated.
Now, did you want to leave that feeder on the bottom one? And it was empty, wasn't it? Okay. Okay, on that last hive, there was a feeder on bottom, and I believe there's going to be one on this one also, and we'll show you as we get into there. And what he's got though is this is deep on the bottom. See that we got the feeder on the side there, but since they've got enough nectar and stuff flow right now, he's not having to worry about keeping them fed. But the supers he's putting on top are mediums. Are those mediums?
Yeah.
Okay, so the feeder that he has in there would not necessarily transfer up or anything, and he's not worried about it right now, because now he wants to just make sure that the bees have enough room so they don't swarm on him. And he's just doing the supers tonight. This hive is looking pretty healthy too.
Yeah, since I'm not putting queen excluders on, it'll also give the queen a little more room to lay. So.
Oh, okay.
I don't care if we bring brood up into the super, we won't collect it to extract it, so if it's got brood in it, it'll either hatch out by the time we're ready to extract, or we'll leave it in.
That's interesting. Okay, so he's not going to, he didn't put a queen excluder. He says it's okay for the queen to come up there and go ahead and put brood in it if she needs to, because by the time he extracts the honey, they'll be done hatching out anyway, and then there will be honey in there.
We're about to fill out the whole box there, so they'll be ready to move up. Some more brood hatches out.
Oh, that is cool. Yep,
Not overpopulated, but they're expanding, so that's what we want.
This one's not looking so filled up, is it?
No. It's starting to get going.
Now that spacer that you're doing right there, trying to make it, that gives them the 5/8 inch that what people feel that is required of them, isn't it?
Bee space is 3/8.
Oh, 3/8. Okay, gotcha.
Giving them more room to draw the comb out thicker, so when you cut the cappings off of it, it gives you a little more wax to cut, so you're not. You get about the same amount of honey on 9 frames as you would 10. It just makes it easier to extract.
Okay, so this is a 9 frame spacer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Instead of 10 frames, you put 9 frames in and space them out evenly. They draw the comb out deeper. It makes it easier to cut the cappings off when you get ready to extract. And you end up with the same amount of honey normally.
All right, those are all the hives that he has down here by the pond, and I think he's good to go for down here. All right, it's getting dark, but Tom's going to head on here a moment, and he's going to do the rest of the supers on the remote locations. But he's asked me to put this pollen into a baggie for him, so we can put it in the freezer, like we were talking about earlier. So we're going to see if I can get this in here without spilling it.
I need help, like holding the bag a little.
I think that would help. Okay, I did not do such a hot job. There's got to be a better way. But we've got it. We're going to stick this in the freezer for him, and that'll work.